Welcome to the NEFPA Home and Garden Show. I'm Wally Conway. The Home and Garden Show is brought to you by the Northeast Florida Builders Association, featuring the very best home builders, home remodelers, realtors, lenders, and vendors available in Florida. Joining us on the NEFPA Show today is Kevin McCormick.
Thanks for having me on the show, Wally.
I'm happy to see you. Sunburst Shutters, I see that around town. I've heard quite a bit about it. What exactly is the differentiator at Sunburst that makes it the shutter to have in my home?
We are the manufacturer of the polywood shutter, first synthetic shutter ever created, and we go the extra mile. Our shutter has a lifetime guarantee. It's completely waterproof, completely sunproof, will never fade, peel, crack, and warp, and our installation is top-notch.
What is it about that synthetic shutter that makes that superior in performance to having wood in my home?
Yes, great question. Wood shutters expand and contract with humidity and with heat. Paint does not. So on a wood shutter, eventually the paint comes off the wood. With a polywood shutter, the polywood and the paint move at the same rate, so they never separate.
So I don't get any cracking, warping. It looks as good 10 years later as it does today.
Yes.
That's a real plus. What about customization? You know, if I've got a fancy window and a Palladian up above it, can you accommodate that, or am I limited?
Absolutely. We do amazing special shapes. Any shape, any size, we can accommodate it.
Knowing the signature product at Sunburst is the polywood shutter, do you have other window treatments, window dressings, so that I don't have a home that's only got shutters?
Absolutely. There's some windows that you just don't want to put that kind of money into. We have blinds, we have shades. Sometimes you need a little bit more darkening, so a room darkening shade. And we've also just recently got into doing barn doors, which are very hot right now.
Very popular, yeah. Yeah, Kevin, if I know I need window treatment and I have no earthly idea what I want, how do you work with me to get my confusion into clarity so it executes great?
I try to find out what your priorities are. Do you need privacy? Do you need heat control? Show you my products, show you pictures of actual installations, and we just kind of feel it out from there.
So you can walk me and talk me right through it in the comfort of my own home. I don't have to drag home samples. That all comes to the home. I can see it up against my own furnishings, what it looks like even as I'm looking out my window.
Absolutely the best way to work with window treatments.
Well, Kevin, to learn more about Sunburst Shutters, what's the best way to get a hold of you?
Best way to get hold of me is through my website, www.sunburstshutters.com.
Thank you for that, Kevin. I'd like to thank Kevin from Sunburst Shutters for being with us today on the Home and Garden Show. For the Home and Garden Show, I'm Wally Conway. Welcome to the NEFPA Home and Garden Show. I'm Wally Conway. The Home and Garden Show is brought to you by the Northeast Florida Builders Association, featuring the finest home builders, remodelers, realtors, lenders, and vendors available anywhere in Florida. Joining us on the Home and Garden Show is Justin Brown. Justin, you are the executive director of Builders Care. I'm very proud to know you. I love what you do. For the uninitiated, what is the mission of Builders Care?
So Builders Care is the charitable arm of NEFPA, and mostly what we do is focus on roofs and ramps. And when I say that, repairing people's roofs and building wheelchair ramps for low-income homeowners, typically disabled and or elderly. Builders Care started in 2001. It was kind of a project between the home builders and Habijacks. So it started in collaboration with NEFPA and Habijacks, and it was basically a way to try to help homeowners that were typically living, below income. I mean, if you're living on $800 a month and you get a $1,500 roof leak, it's almost insurmountable.
Right.
I mean, you're going to save up $200 a month for the next 8 months, and all the damage that the roof leak is doing in the meantime, creates a huge problem. So with NEFPA and its over 1,200 members, part of what Builders Care is able to do is reach out to our community and ask for some help.
So the most critical thing in a person's home is they have a roof so they're dry, and they have safe and secure access into their home. If they need the ramp, Builders Care is there to provide the ramp. How does Builders Care integrate with NEFPA to excite the membership to to participate in the projects, whether that's financially or by product or coming out with a hammer and saw?
I mean, that's a great question. A lot of what I do is go and speak to the NEFPA membership and try and tell the stories of the homeowners that we're helping, try to encourage them to come out to our volunteer days. We also have a caring member program, and part of that caring member program is to be a sustaining member, basically giving Builders Care $100 a month, you know, which is a pretty small ask for most businesses, but for us, it's an enormous game changer. So we try to engage the membership that way. A lot of the home builders also just donate materials. You know, when you're done with your tile, they usually have an extra 150 square feet.
Right.
You know, for us, I mean, we can do 3 bathrooms with 150 square feet for the most of the houses that we're working on in the north side.
So the NEFPA members giving back to the community through Builders Care. And it's interesting, there's a place for everyone. I know we have national home builders, very, very large budgets. There's some special things they can do. But even when we get to the Remodelers Council, professional women in building, no matter what it is they have to offer, you can put it to productive use, whether it's a bit of material, a bit of time, or a big budget. It's important to you and Builders Care to get the mission accomplished.
Well, absolutely. And so what we do is we lean on them for time, resources, connections, financial, obviously, in-kind donations, and just helping us. Like, so sometimes, you know, I'll go and ask a roofer if they can help me on this project, and they can't do it for free, but if they can do it at cost, or what I like to call nonprofit pricing, you know, it allows us to extend the money and be good stewards of the money that we're entrusted with.
I know that this comes from the heart for you. This is not a job, this is a mission and a passion. How good does the hug feel when you've stopped a leak and put a new roof on a person's home who never otherwise could have slept dry?
I mean, it feels pretty good. I've got to say, when I first started at Builders Care, my initial thought was, you know, I mean, these people have homes, so what, you know, how bad could it really be? It's not like they're homeless. And then I started going and visiting some of these houses, and one of the first ones I saw, I went in and there was like a chandelier-sized black mold ring, and the sweetest woman running around, and she was embarrassed, you know, about the way her home looked, and it's things like that. And Builders Care was really founded to help widows, because if you're a widow and you lose your maintenance guy, you know, which was your husband, you know, who's going to get up on that roof and patch it for you? And so it really takes a community. And part of what Builders Care does is it fills a critical gap between city funding for bigger projects and things that your church can do, because your church is really the one who is out there on the ground helping people, small local nonprofits, and Builders Care comes in and really makes a difference there.
Justin, I'm feeling your passion for the mission of Builders Care. I know that others who've heard you feel that same thing. What's the best way to get a hold of you to get more involved in Builders Care?
Well, the best way to get in touch with us is to go to our website. It's builderscare.org, or you can give us a call at 904-727-3443. I will say this, Wally, we get about 40 calls a week for help. So the phone lines get a little inundated, but leave a message. It all goes through my email, and then I read them all, and we have to play a triage, obviously, with so much need in the community.
Well, working together, we're going to make it better for lots and lots of people.
Well, I appreciate it. Thanks,
I'd like
Wally.
to thank you for that.
Thank you.
I'd like to thank Justin Brown for being with us today on the NEFPA Home and Garden Show. For the Home and Garden Show, I'm Wally Conway. Welcome to the NEFPA Home and Garden Show. I'm Wally Conway. The Home and Garden Show features the very finest home builders, realtors, lenders, and vendors from the Northeast Florida Building Association. Joining us on the Home and Garden Show today from the Welch team at Keller Williams is Christina Welch. Christina, welcome to the Home and Garden Show.
Thank you, Wally. Good morning.
I am really proud and happy to have you here with me. Give me an idea how you've used your relationship with the Sales and Marketing Council to help you build the fantastic team that you've built.
Well, there's a lot of ways. One, we've increased our relationship basis. So real estate and home building is all about relationships. And so we've built relationships with builders, with vendors, with outside lenders that we work with consistently. And so it keeps pushing our name recognition a little bit to a higher level.
So the relationships you founded inside of NEFPA through the Sales and Marketing Council assure that when a customer comes to the Welch team, you've got everyone in place to get the finest people to them to make that home buying or home building quite simple.
Yes, 100%. So we've vetted a lot of our outside service providers, because we can only do so much when we're selling real estate. We don't build the house, we don't finance the house, but those relationships that we've created help our customers get through that transaction, and with that transaction's completed, we hope they're 100% satisfied to keep coming back.
I heard Gary Keller once say that no one succeeds alone. And in spite of the fabulous relationships you have inside of NEFPA and the Sales and Marketing Council, you've also created quite a team to assure that the customer gets everything they need, personalized exactly when they need it. And you've brought Tyler Brown with you today. You're a listing specialist. Tyler, welcome to the Home and Garden Show.
Thanks, Wally. Appreciate it. Glad to be here.
I'm happy to have you. Tyler, help me understand how the mindset of a listing specialist differs from a buyer specialist.
Absolutely. So, we have a lot of similarities in the sense that we're obviously helping customers and clients, and but something that separates us is our main goal is helping sellers, and we need to make sure that we know everything about the market. I mean, that could be from new construction and knowing what our competition's like, knowing our inventory levels and absorption rate. That's the amount of homes that are on the market, and if for whatever reason, let's say there's 10 homes on the market and there's an absorption rate of 3 months. In 3 months, if nothing else comes on the market, then that's how soon it would sell out of. So we need to be extremely knowledgeable about everything in the industry to make sure we can help our sellers the best. We also pride ourselves in making sure that we have a seamless process. So, it's beneficial. We have some transaction coordinators in the back office that really help from the contract to close process too. And I think that all those things together can really help.
So as a listing specialist, your focus is on getting the home sold, where the buyer specialist, their focus is on getting the customer into the home that's best for them.
Absolutely. And part of that has to do with marketing as well. We specialize in marketing. We have our own marketing specialists on our team as well. But as listing agents, we pride ourselves in knowing how to market homes the proper way and make sure we get the most exposure for our customers, because that's the most important.
Christina, I know that many builders have their own site agent. Many builders don't. How do you on the Welch team integrate with the builder to provide them phenomenal service if they don't have their own site agent?
So that's a very good question, Wally. A lot of times builders, they do what they do best. They're out building homes and finding lots and making sure that they're building a house that's going to attract the buyer for today's market. They don't need to worry about the whole marketing the house and finding the buyer. So that's where we come into play. And so we've done that with several builders over the years, and we actually represent the builder. So we sit site for them, we market the homes, we bring in the buyers, we negotiate the contracts, and then we unload their inventory for them, so they're not having to worry about that process. We're doing that all for them.
So in some cases, you're bringing your team to the builder to sit that model for them. Yep. And then bring your buyer specialists to bring the buyers through. You're sort of a one-stop shop.
We are, one-stop shop.
That's pretty fascinating. Christina, if people would like to learn more about the Welch team or Tyler or other ways that you can help them find a home, or in the case of builders and remodelers, find ways to sell those homes, what's the best way to get a hold of you?
So the easiest way to get in touch with us is online, of course. It's www.welchteam.com. You can reach us there pretty much all the time. We do have a live chat icon on there, or you can email us, and then there's 2 separate numbers on that website as well.
So welchteam.com is really your primary focus point.
100%, yes.
I'd like to thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
I'd like to thank Christina Welch as well as Tyler Brown from the Welch team for being with us today on the NEFPA Home and Garden Show. I'm Wally Conway. Welcome to the NEFPA Home and Garden Show. I'm Wally Conway. The Home and Garden Show is brought to you by the Northeast Florida Builders Association, featuring the very finest builders, realtors, lenders, and vendors available in Florida. Joining us on the Home and Garden Show today from Exit Real Estate Gallery is Cole Slate. Cole, welcome to the Home and Garden Show.
Sir, thank you for having me.
I'm happy to have you. You, sir, have grown your business at a very young age very rapidly. How have you used the tools and relationships available to you at NEFPA and the Sales and Marketing Council to grow your business so quick and so large?
I mean, really, it's just been diving right into the Northeast Florida Builders Association, creating those relationships. You know, not only the relationships with the vendors that I've been able to, you know, to get going to help with different projects customers may have, repairs, could it be renovations, you know, things of that nature, but also especially the Sales and Marketing Council. In our market, there's so much new construction going on. With the relationships that I've created through the Sales and Marketing Council, which is majority builders and site agents, it provides an extra value to my customers that are wanting to build their dream home. You know, it's a whole different world when we walk into a model home and the site agent drops everything to come give me a hug and introduce herself to my customers, versus walking into a model home and the site agent having to introduce herself, you know, to you and to the customer.
Right.
It's a whole different dynamic. You know, we're getting the red carpet treatment.
It's relationship, not a stranger. So the Sales and Marketing Council is really that bridge between the builders at NEFPA and the real estate agents at NEFAR, the relationship building position. You know, there's a lot of people I've heard say, oh, I've joined NEFPA, or I've joined this organization or that organization, and I didn't gain any relationships. I didn't feel anything. Share with me why it's so important, not just to join, but to be involved, to take a leadership position.
You know, to the people that say that, it's what are they doing to get a return on their investment? You know, you need to be getting on the NEFPA website every day, going to that events calendar and saying, what's going on this week? What opportunities do I have? You know, the Sales and Marketing Council has an annual membership fee of $110, and for a company, you're around $500, depending if you're an affiliate or builder with the Builders Association. So how are you going to maximize that investment, right? So with us, myself and my team, maximizing our investment, it is those relationships. It is getting to know the builders and their communities and the site agents and even the contractors that help us, you know, somewhat on the back end of contracts that a lot of people don't even think about having that opportunity.
You know, a lot of people think of NEFPA members of being a bunch of old guys. Talk to me about rounding that out with not only young people, but also with ladies.
Yeah, so there's a lot that the Northeast Florida Builders Association is doing in regards to bridging those gaps. You know, I'm actually part of the Young Professionals group, and we do a lot that has to do with education, bridging the gaps with age and things. You know, I always make a joke, you know, you're as young as you feel. You know, so people like you can come to our Young Professionals events.
I have a waiver.
And they're also doing something awesome with professional women in building. So being able to bring all that together and kind of take away that stereotype and that idea of, you know, essentially the good old boys club, that's really doing a lot for a lot of relationships and a lot of people's businesses.
So how is that effort in building those relationships professionally, what does that mean to your individual customer that comes to the Cole Slate team? For us, it's a lot of credibility. You know, like you said earlier, you know, myself and my team are young. You know, we haven't been in the business for that long, 6 years. But having the relationships and just seeing the reactions that people get, not only from the site agents, but from builders, the contractors, other relationships that we've made from the Builders Association, you know, again, it's a whole different dynamic when, you know, they're calling a roofing company and saying, hey, we were referred to you by the Cole Slate team, and they drop everything to get out there as soon as possible. You know, it's having that, I mean, essentially being able to name drop and getting that special treatment because of the relationships. And, you know, they're doing things like that to benefit us in our business, but you also have to scratch their back too. So it's making sure to it's making sure that you're providing a benefit to the people that you're working with, and it's not just take. So all the effort in creating those relationships become trust relationships for your individual customer.
Yes, sir, absolutely.
To learn more, Cole, about the Cole Slate team or how to get more involved at NEFPA or YPG, what's the best way to get a hold of you?
You can reach out to me at 904-607-6830 or email me at coleslate@coleslate.com.
coleslate.com. Thank you for sharing that. I appreciate that. I'd like to thank Cole Slate for being with us today on the NEFPA Home and Garden Show. For the Home and Garden Show, I'm Wally Conway. Welcome to the NEFPA Home and Garden Show. I'm Wally Conway. The Home and Garden Show is brought to you by the Northeast Florida Builders Association, featuring the finest builders, remodelers, realtors, lenders, and vendors available anywhere in Florida. Joining us on the Home and Garden Show today from Enhance Wood Refinishing, is Teresa Fenimore. Teresa,
good morning.
Welcome to the Home and Garden Show.
Thank you for having me.
I have to share with you, as a home inspector, we've been in over 35,000 houses around Jacksonville. Some of them have kitchens that can best be described as hideous. They need to make a change. Yes. And sometimes the budget doesn't quite support the vision for that change. How can Enhance bring a gorgeous kitchen into a home at a little bit less than a total gut?
Well, that's a great question, Wally. Thanks for asking. Yes, a lot of times a customer will have done work to the kitchen, maybe a brand new countertop, new floor, new backsplash, but the cabinets are still stuck in the 90s. Right. And they don't have the budget, they don't have the stomach to do a complete tear out and have that disruption to their life. So we can come in. Enhance is a total wood refinishing company, and we can either revive their current cabinets. So if they happen to like that golden oak, but it's just dull and worn, we can revive it, or we can give them a completely new color. A lot of customers now want that clean white kitchen, so we can change it to a white, a gray. We can even go a dark espresso or a walnut or a cherry. About a third of the cost of replacing, and the beauty of Enhance is we're not using paint, so what we use is a much more durable, stands up to the test of time.
Very nice. You know, you mentioned the 90s. I saw a lot of cabinetry in the 90s that had sort of a vacuumed on vinyl-y mess that just didn't age well. Often it's peeling off. What can you do for me there?
Yes, so thermofoil cabinets were very popular for people who wanted the white cabinets, but white wood cabinets are typically very expensive. Yeah. So thermofoil cabinets were put in by a lot of builders, and now what's happening over time is that thermofoil is starting to peel off of the MDF core underneath. So we come in, we heat it up, we peel it off, we spray our proprietary products right over the top, we clear coat it. All of our products are baked on with a UV light, so it's designed for maximum durability, so that customer does not have to replace their doors or drawers. We can fix it for them.
So you'll give me a finish I love in my cabinetry. What about hinges and knobs?
Sure, we can replace hinges. If you have hinges that now screw into your face frame, but you want the soft close Euro hidden hinges, we can do that. We can put on new hardware. We can do new soft close rails. We can really update everything for you easily and quickly.
If I know I hate my kitchen, and I don't know what I want, how do you interact with me in my home to get my disdain for my present kitchen to turn into one that I love?
Well, a lot of times, Wally, a customer will have an idea because they've been on Pinterest or they've been looking at pictures, and I can come in and kind of help facilitate that vision for them. If a customer really has no idea the direction that they want to go, I simply start by asking them questions. Like when you come in your kitchen in the morning with a cup of coffee and you look around and you're not happy with what you see, in your mind, what are you really picturing that you would like? And a lot of times it's that I just really want to lighten it up, I want to brighten it up. Some kitchens here don't have a lot of natural light. Right. We have those fluorescent lights in our kitchens. So a lot of times just by asking questions and talking about if you could wave a magic wand, what would it look like? I can help flesh out exactly what they want, and then we deliver it to them.
I don't want to mess in my home.
Correct.
How long should I expect you to be hanging out with me in my house to take it from ugly to gorgeous?
Great. The doors and drawers come back to our shop in Jacksonville Beach, where we process those there. The time in your home usually is spent about 2 days. So unfortunately, you won't be able to cook for one night. You'll have to eat out or get takeout or something.
I like that idea. Tracy, for folks who would like to learn more about Enhance and how they can, in fact, enhance their kitchen with you, what's the best way to get a hold of you?
The best way to get a hold of us is to visit our website, which is enhance.com/beachside.
Well, thank you, Teresa. You've enlightened me. My kitchen does have hope, especially on my budget.
Great, thank you.
I'd like to thank Teresa for being with us today on the Home and Garden Show. For the Home and Garden Show, I'm Wally Conway. Welcome to the Home and Garden Show. I'm Wally Conway. Joining us on the Home and Garden Show today are very special guests that you seldom see. They are, in fact, the brains behind my office staff at Home Pro Inspections, Elaine and Jennifer. Ladies, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having
I can't thank you enough for all the wonderful things you do that allows me to go out and have fun, and I'm very grateful. So when I'm here in the studio doing my thing, it's great to know that you're taking care of the business. I'm very grateful for that.
Thank you.
What I'd like to know, though, is when people call, let's talk first about a homeowner. When people call the office or the home buyer, what is it that they forget to ask us? It seems like they never ask what we want them to ask. What is important for them to ask when they're calling their home inspector?
I find that they don't really ask a whole lot about what they need to be worried about with the, the home inspection process, things that might come up in the home inspection, things that their insurance company might want of them, things that their lenders might want of them. A lot of people don't realize that with certain homes, sometimes it's a requirement, or certain mortgages will require that you're going to have something like a WDO inspection or water testing,
right.
Things of that nature. Some people just think it's just come here, tell me the condition of the home, and then we're good to go. But there's a whole lot more to it, I think, in our experience, than just that.
Right.
So I agree with that. I agree with that, because they'll call, they really don't know what they're to ask for, and sometimes it's their first home, and they really don't know what to ask, and so we want to kind of guide them, into what they need to be looking for, but also try to fill out what they need.
I feel sometimes like when the person calls and we're sharing with them the opportunity to have their WDO inspection or have their wind mitigation form or their various insurance forms, it feels to me, as a guy who listens to the calls once in a while, that people feel like we're selling them something as opposed to educating them on, after 35,000 houses, most people will need this, and if we get it done, it's going to be simpler now and overall less expensive. How do you give them comfort so that they can understand we're doing this with and for you?
I try to convey to them that I understand, if they have concerns. I'm a homeowner, so what I would be looking for or what I would want someone to help me with.
Exactly. I want to thank you both so the world can know how much I appreciate all you do for us and all you do for the customers.
We appreciate you.
It's really a wonderful thing. I'd like to thank you all for being with us today on the Home and Garden Show. For the Home and Garden Show, I'm Wally Conway. Big event or party at your home or business? The Jacksonville Party Company. Stress-free, flawless, and memorable. Whether it's for children, a retirement, a wedding, or other social or professional activity, it's stress-free, flawless, and memorable when you involve the Jacksonville Party Company. Contact them today to get your event launched at jacksonvillepartycompany.com.